Welcome back, everyone, to the Los Angeles Chargers franchise here on Madden 18. As we have a bye week special this week, very early in the season, in week 4, and this team needs a bye. Last year, we have a bye in the middle of the season. I think it was right after our first loss. Conway and Pickney both got hurt, so we needed a bye week that week too. But so far, this team has been nowhere near as good as they were last year. 1-2 so far on the season. In the game they won, they barely won. So week 1 was definitely probably the worst out of all the games. The offense was certainly at its worst. Looking at the stats, Mason Conway struggled. 3 interceptions. He's only thrown 1 the past 2 weeks, so that's good. Running the ball, Melvin Gordon's had a few big plays, but everything that is decent. Spencer Bailey has had 3 great games. I think all 3 games he's had over 100 yards. Williams has played well. Pickney only had 1 catch for a 76-yard touchdown. He's been playing really well this year. Lewis Jackson, he is a rookie, but hasn't been great, which I guess that makes sense because he's young. The pass rush has, 4 sacks this game. Well, this pass rush has been horrendous this year. It's been awful. I think we had 1 last week, probably only 1 this game. Looking at the stats, Mason Conley was phenomenal. 75% completion, 427 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Case V. Harn, he played really well too. He only threw 2 incomplete passes, which both were interceptions. Running the ball, Gordon struggled. Le'Veon Bell did not do particularly well. He just had a few nice plays. Receiving, Spencer Bailey balled out, Pickney balled out, Martavis Bryant for them balled out, but we shut down Antonio Brown. And I think the number 2 corner is always on the number 1 receiver. I'm not entirely sure. That means Joshua Stanley covered Antonio Brown really well. Joshua Stanley's had a heck of a season so far. Lewis Jackson's not been great. On the defensive side of the ball, the offensive line was awful this game. Yeah, only 1 sack from Bosa. Only 1 sack this game against the Bucs. In the first half, we controlled time of possession. Like, it wasn't even close. And their offense pretty much did nothing in the first half, but in the second half, their offense was great. I think they got like 4 touchdowns. Conway played well. Jim has played well. Melvin Gordon played pretty solid. Jeremy Hill had a few nice rushes. He played well. Sean Pickney, Spencer Bailey, Mike Williams. This threesome is going to be scary for opposing defenses. Mike Evans was shut down as well. So is that Joshua Stanley's man? Joshua Stanley has 2 interceptions. And if he is covering those 2, if not, then Tre'Davious White is having a phenomenal year. He doesn't have any interceptions, and he had 6 last year, but if he's covering them, then he has been phenomenal. See, 1 sack. Half a sack for Rashard Street, half a sack for Pickney. J.J. Wilcox had a pick 6. Bernard Clark had a huge interception late in the game. And Joshua Stanley's was, I think, the Bucs' first drive. So, this offense has been very solid. Other than the offensive line, Lewis Jackson is a rookie, but maybe I move him into guard. I mean, both of our guards have struggled at tackle, but so is pretty much everyone else on this team. Maybe we try Gordon Sturgeon at right tackle and Lewis Jackson at center. I'm not sure. Conway's played really well. Gordon's played well. The 3 receivers have been phenomenal. Patrick Mays has been alright. The defensive line has been very underwhelming. The linebackers, Leonard Worrell, he pretty much did not play the first game. He was great against the Steelers. It was decent last week. Tre'Davious White, or whoever is covering, Tre'Davious White only has 9 tackles, so I kind of think it is him who is covering them. But even so, Joshua Stanley's played really well last year. After a quiet year last year, already 2 interceptions on the year. He did not have 1 week 2. He had 1 in both of the losses. And then special teams, James Brandstater, the rookie kicker, has been phenomenal. He did miss an extra point. That's just because I wasn't really paying attention. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, he just does not have kicking stats. So if he continues to play really well, I'm thinking at the end of the season, I'll just make him better because it's not going to give him XP. Let's say he should make the Pro Bowl. I might give him quick development and make him a 77 overall. Luckily, it does count punting stats. Drew Kaiser has been phenomenal this whole series. I want Rashad Pickney returning a lot of kicks as well as Tre'Davious White, because Jakeem Grant has made a Pro Bowl the past 2 years, so I don't know if those 2 could potentially make a Pro Bowl from returning kicks. They both already have superstar development, but making them better than they already are. So looking at the stats, Mason Conway with 4 interceptions is not great, but regardless, 3 of them were opening game. So the past 2 games, he's only thrown 1 interception, and that was an awful pass. No one was getting open that play, but he leads the NFL in yards, up there in touchdowns. Melvin Gordon's played well, 6.3 yards carry, very solid, 2 touchdowns, both of which were last week against the Bucks. Spencer Bailey and Rashad Pickney are 1 and 2 in receiving yards in the NFL. Pickney is number 1, Bailey's number 2, and Mike Williams has a lot as well. Blocking, Lewis Jackson's probably allowed like 6. Yeah, Grayson Worthington has played really well at the left tackle spot. Very versatile player. Defensively, Leonard Worrell leads us in tackles, which is a little surprising because he didn't even play the first game, except for the very first play from scrimmage. The pass rush has been nowhere near what it was earlier in the series. Interceptions, we have like 5. Yeah. 2 from Jocko Stanley, 1 from Worrell, Keanu Neal, and Bernard Clark. Kicking, Brandstater is like 6 for 7 from, or 9 for 10 from extra points and like 6 for 6 from field goals. And he had the game winner last week, which was like from 55 yards out. So let's look at the whole NFL. Don't really care about kicking and punt returning. Jerick McKinnon's on the Texans. Conway leads in yards by a mile. Stafford's the only other player with 1,000 yards. Go Lions. Touchdowns goes to Derek Carr and Kirk Cousins. Conway tied with Chad Kelly. So this is the Dak Prescott replacement. If you guys don't know, Dak Prescott is signed with the Cleveland Browns. So Chad Kelly is starting out in Dallas interceptions. Kirby Watkins played really well week 2. I guess he hasn't had a great year minus that game. Todd Gurley leads in yards. Gordon, pretty high up there. Touchdowns goes to Le'Veon Bell. Kareem Hunt, what's his rating? 81. And the third-year man, Javonte Lloyd, who's a 70 overall. Jamison Crowder leads in receptions. Spencer Bailey pretty high up. Yards, Pickney, Bailey. Mike Williams should be someone high. Is Adrian Ziegler in here? I'm not sure. Khalil. I remember scouting him. He looks like a beast. But is Adrian Ziegler in here? I know he had a really good week 1 for the Falcons. If you don't know who Adrian Ziegler is, there he is. So he hasn't really done much since week 1. Him and Spencer Bailey literally had the exact same like stats, same combine, same height, pretty much same weight, pretty much same top 3 skills, pretty much same everything. And obviously Spencer Bailey has been phenomenal for us so far this year. Blocking, Zach Baxter, the 2nd overall pick, I believe. Jermaine Ifedi, Lewis Jackson, Zach Banner. Jake Ryan leads in tackles. Sacks goes to Brandon Graham. Interceptions goes to Daniel. He had 3 last game, week 3. Don't know who they played. Bunch of players with 2, including Stanley. Has anyone missed an extra point other than Brandstater? Yeah, probably. And one of them is Justin Tucker. Justin Tucker and our former kicker, Josh Lambo. I mean, James Brandstater's been blowing out. So, I think we can just... There have actually been a few trades happening. Not big ones, like scrubs. Looking at the re-signing players, we have a lot of players we need to re-sign. Yeah. A lot of guys. So, the only 2 wanting to do contracts now, Solomon Thomas and Mike Williams. Mike Williams needs to come back. 7 years is reasonable. I mean, for one thing, the series is not going to last 7 years. 7 years, $7.5 million contract. Mike Williams accepts it, and Mike Williams will be a Charger until he's at least 32 years old. Already, more players want to ask for contracts. If one of them is Tre'Davious White, which it is, so we got to re-sign him too. Melvin Ingram and Solomon Thomas, so just wait a little. I'm offering 7 years too. We have plenty of money. This is a lot of money we're giving Tre'Davious White, but he was so good last year. I think it's worth it, and Tre'Davious White and Mike Williams are both going to resign. Great to hear. We are playing the 1-2-1 Buffalo Bills. They have absolutely killed this team in this series. Then 3 straight road games. Oh gosh, at Bills, at Saints, and at Raiders. Yeah, that should be fun. I can't imagine Conway's first anymore. Same with our receivers. He's still 2nd. That's crazy. Mason Conway's still 2nd and didn't even play last week. 5th in defense. Obviously, we have one of the worst defenses. That's because we get off. And that's just because we passed the ball a lot this year. Conway, comparing his stats this year and last year, his pass rating was better last year. I think that makes sense. I think just because of that 3 interception game. Yards, touchdowns should be similar. Picks, I won't be surprised if they're a little higher. Sacks, oh gosh. Completion percentage is higher, that's good. Yards per game is dramatically higher, so I guess the yards is going to be higher than last year. So scouting, there are a lot of good quarterbacks in this draft. Obviously, Mason Conway is the future of this team. I don't know if he's related to Moses Cody from the Browns series. There are a lot of corners, which we could use. He looks pretty good. Outside the first round, corners generally suck. We could use defensive linemen with Solomon Thomas and Melvin Ingram both need a new contract, and Melvin Ingram is noticeably regressing. Not very good. Illinois still sucks. Is this guy any good? Oh gosh, why did I continue to scout him? Okay, so no one too exciting is going to be added to the watch list. I think like maybe one person. Move him up a little. I think that's good. This guy's a guaranteed superstar, and Melvin Gordon isn't getting any younger, so I'll consider getting Donald Collins. But Gordon is a very good player. He's probably like 27, 28. Yeah, 27, so he might start regressing at the end of the year. His rating has not really gotten better at all this series, but he has played really well. Looking at his stats, 2,000 plus yard seasons. Last year he was hurt for 10 games. And average yards per game was higher than both of the 1,000-yard years. And then this year he's played pretty well as well. But yards per carry is really good though. Like those are some really good numbers belonging to Melvin Gordon. So I think that's it. I don't think this team needs to make any trades right now. The starters I think are really set for a while. This team doesn't have too many needs. Maybe offensive line, maybe a corner. Maybe a defensive end with Melvin Ingram being one of the, only old starters on this whole roster. I think he might be literally the only starter over 30. Not a starter. See? Yeah. And then the next oldest starter is Melvin Gordon and Drew Kay's revelation. See? I don't think there's anyone too exciting in free agency either. Taking a look, Jalen Richard's a good player, but we have Alvin Kamara as for backup. So pretty much no one we don't need a backup quarterback unlike last year. We actually have good depth this year. So next episode will be against this Buffalo Bills team. They don't have many players. Lonnie French is a superstar, right? Yeah. I remember scouting him. He looked like a beast. But this team really is not that good. They did have Derrick Henry. Still have Tyra Williams. I think they still have Denzel Perryman. I guess not. Oh no, they still do. He's a defensive end now. When we had him, he was playing middle linebacker. Then we traded him for Tre'Davious White, him and Tyra Williams. So, is this Tre'Davious White's first time playing against his former team? I don't think so. I'm not sure. But the Bills have killed us. Like Andre Roberts or something. He gets 150 yards, I think, both times we've played them. But this team is certainly more talented than the Buffalo Bills. So this team should rebound. This team is certainly a playoff team. Last year they went 12-4 and were one win away from making the Super Bowl. So this team can certainly get it back together. Just some defensive adjustments. The playbook was changed at the beginning of the season, so that might be partly why. And it's going to be changed again a little bit so the defense can be better. I'm a Barbie girl in the